go in with these videos.
He was the most grotesque creature, the arch-vampire. Dracula. Count Dracula.
Welcome to the Hero Shack Chronicles pre-show. So what we're doing here is in the hour before our live show, we're promoting our comics as well as other people's comics. Do you have a comic book you want to promote? Let us know and we can put your video in with these videos. Welcome to the Hero Shack Chronicles pre-show. So what we're doing here is in the hour before our live show, we're promoting our comics as well as other people's comics. Do you have a comic book you want to promote? Let us know and we can put your video in with these videos.
The Nutcrackers' War has left the inhabitants of Planet Christmas hopeless and desperate for heroes. Dozens of provinces and villages have been taken over by General Almond and his evil soldiers who aim to rule the planet and capture all the Christmas spirit that's left. But out of nowhere, a new hope has arisen. Our young hero Garrett is on a quest to find Father Christmas, who he believes is the only man that might have the power to dismantle the war completely. Garrett, and a leader of the small but mighty Christmasville militia, could be the only chance the planet has at returning to its jolly old self. But several questions remain. Where's Father Christmas, and why has he not stopped the war already? Who is Jack Frost, and what dark partnership did he have with General Almond? And what evil lurks behind the drawbridge of Castle Wenceslas? Raphael Sam will once again be the interior artist of this second issue. I, Ryan Hawk, will continue to write the story, and Tom Barton, our great cover artist, will draft the 5-page backup story, The Tragedy of Jack Frost, as well as drawing the variant and main cover of the second issue. Bric-a-Brac is back and better than ever. Please help us make this a reality.
They said I couldn't get the rights to Earthworm Jim. They said I could not make hardbound comics in the USA. They said I couldn't do leather. They said I was crazy. Well, maybe now they won't think I'm so crazy after all. I want this to be a book where it's like going through my art pages.
But now we're sitting in another world.
When you're a baby, ain't nothing better than your mother's breast. You're drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. You don't need no utensils to eat because you're a baby. But when you start growing little teeth, mama goes, and she starts taking a little spoon, putting some little food in your mouth. And at first, you know what they do? They spit it out. They don't like that. Well, mama don't like getting bit either. So she keep pushing stuff into your mouth. You see, so you go from this soft breast where you don't need any utensils, and then there's someone using an utensil which is kind of round and safe and begins to feed you. But when you mature, you start eating T-bone steak and you have some sharp instruments. You got a knife and you got a fork, and you don't need nobody to tell you how to eat. You just start cutting your food and eating it. The problem with the body of Messiah is that we've been sucking on milk for way too long, listening to the same messages day after day, week after week. How many times you need to hear that Jesus done love you and he died for you, and how many times you have to go in front of the cross. He ain't there no more. He's moving on, and people don't need a 2,000-year revelation of Jesus. They need a revelation of I am today. They need to see him today. They need to see him in you today.
Welcome to the Hero Shack Chronicles pre-show. So what we're doing here is in the hour before our live show, we're promoting our comics as well as other people's comics. Do you have a comic book you want to promote? Let us know and we can put your video in with these videos.
It was a moment that our land, our motherland, remembers, not with a vowed sense of joy, but rather horror. For it was a time where we were attacked by the mighty supreme military force of the German army. Women would arise, women not made of silk and soft flour, but rather women that would choose to be the Valkyries of the sky and fly above our motherland and face our foes with such fury and aggression to protect the motherland. They were known as the White Lily. They are the angels and warriors of the sky.
Hi, it's your boy Fresher Luke. I'm here to tell you about a new book and IP that I'm looking to get off the ground. The project in question is called Forsaken Gods, a 60-page full-color comic book that follows the adventures of an archaeologist named Samara Ankma and her search in trying to find out what caused a great war between the gods,
which resulted in the world to be filled with magic, dragons, spirits, and monsters, as well as ancient magical artifacts of immense power.
Anyway, the story of the book takes place when Samara and her hired help enter a vault that sits under the Great Iron Horse Mountain, as she looks for clues to the war's origin. Once there, her entire team is killed, leaving her to try and escape on her own, only to come face to face with an amazing weapon known only as the Skull Knight. This is issue 1 of a potential multi-issue series exploring Samara and her journey in trying to figure out who or what Skull Knight is, while also being pursued by deadly foes, hell-bent on either capturing or destroying the creature. As she has not only awoken Skull Knight, but also the long-sleeping old gods that survived the war who see the Skull Knight as a threat to their remaining power. The book itself will contain 50 pages of story with 10 pages of behind-the-scenes sketches, plus special guest art from some exceptionally talented artists and concept designers. All of it will be in full color. On top of that, also included in the base tier are some stickers and a special custom-made trading card featuring none other than the Skull Knight himself. If this sounds like a project for you, then vote with your dollar and back this campaign on Indiegogo. And also, feel free to spread the word by social media as well. Many thanks. I'm Fresher Luke, and thank you for considering Forsaken Gods. I hope to see you at the finish line.
Yummy, 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 I got love in my tummy, and I feel like loving you.
Hey everybody, we're finally launching Destiny Issue 2. I'm very excited for that. We've upped the story, more story pages, bigger, bolder action. Some really cool creators joining us, like Miss Sashi doing awesome back cover for us. Now, Pickles also really improved the story. We kind of gel together more on Issue 2. So I'm really excited to show you all. Let's get into it.
Hi everyone, it's the writer and co-creator of Vestra here, Dylan. I want to welcome you all to our second campaign for issue 2. Well, it's the first campaign for issue 2, but I want to say that this takes place directly after issue 1. So if you've not read issue 1, we will be offering a tier where you can get that. Issue 2, Damon's going to be fighting an extra dimensional monster. Basically, he's gonna have a hard time with this. We also we really were blown away by how much you guys liked Vodnik, our short story Ashcan. So we're going to be doing another Ashcan called The Eye of Maltstein. We're really excited about this one because our character's going to be fighting a giant, and I hope you love it as much as we do. I think you are gonna love it.
So thank you all for joining us, and please do back the campaign, and most importantly, guys, share, because word of the mouth is just makes these campaigns, and it's something that will make or break our campaign. And you've been so good to us for the first issue, and we're hoping to get even better on the second one. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
Did you miss out on Legends of Lone Wolf like some kind of wiener? Well, now you got a second chance. You can get the hardcover book, you can get the Indiegogo cover, you can get the Kickstarter cover, you can pick up issue 1 in black and white, you can get it with the Muttman cover, you can get the J. Paul Sheep cover, you can get a copy of the Banjo Man Ashcan. Oh yeah, we got a ton of comic books. They're all going to be available, and you're going to dig it. Yeah, brother!
This message, it's not for you. It's for the king who lives in you. This is not a message for humans. Humans are trying to figure out a way to save themselves. The king freely gives himself to be the savior. You know what? If you go to Obadiah, it says, "And save yours, deliverers shall come from Mount Zion." It speaks of many, not one. And as a matter of fact, all creation, come on, somebody, all of creation is waiting for one event. They're not waiting for anybody to come down on the cloud. They're waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. What's going on? Maybe your denomination is waiting for something, but your cat, your dog, and your plants at home, they're waiting to see the real thing. Out of creation, we are the only ones who happen to not know what God's plan is. He said it, if a seed abides alone, it gains nothing. But if a seed is buried in the ground and dies, it comes up and it produces many. It's like a virus I can't describe. Come on now. We got farmers in here. You take a piece of corn, you stick that in the ground, let that thing come up. First the blade, then the ear, then the full head in the ear. And when you open inside, you done put one in the ground. But when you open inside, there's rows upon rows upon rows of the identical seed that you place in the ground. The harvest is not for people who believe in Jesus. The harvest is for the seed that has matured into Jesus. Come on.
What you see ain't what you get.
Welcome to the Hero Shack Chronicles pre-show. So what we're doing here is in the hour before our live show, we're promoting our comics as well as other people's comics. Do you have a comic book you want to promote? Let us know and we can put your video in with these videos.
He was the most grotesque creature, the arch-vampire, Dracula. Count Dracula.
Welcome to the Hero Shack Chronicles pre-show. So what we're doing here is in the hour before our live show, we're promoting our comics as well as other people's comics. Do you have a comic book you want to promote? Let us know and we can put your video in with these videos. Welcome to the Hero Shack Chronicles pre-show. So what we're doing here is in the hour before our live show, we're promoting our comics as well as other people's comics. Do you have a comic book you want to promote? Let us know and we can put your video in with these videos.
The Nutcrackers' War has left the inhabitants of Planet Christmas hopeless and desperate for heroes. Dozens of provinces and villages have been taken over by General Almond and his evil soldiers who aim to rule the planet and capture all the Christmas spirit that's left. But out of nowhere, a new hope has arisen. Our young hero Garrett is on a quest to find Father Christmas, who he believes is the only man that might have the power to dismantle the war completely. Garrett, and a leader of the small but mighty Christmasville militia, could be the only chance the planet has at returning to its jolly old self. But several questions remain. Where's Father Christmas, and why has he not stopped the war already? Who is Jack Frost, and what dark partnership did he have with General Almond? And what evil lurks behind the drawbridge of Castle Wenceslas? Raphael Sam will once again be the interior artist of this second issue. I, Ryan Hawk, will continue to write the story, and Tom Barton, our great cover artist, will draft the 5-page backup story, The Tragedy of Jack Frost, as well as drawing the variant and main cover of the second issue. Bric-a-Brac is back and better than ever. Please help us make this a reality.
They said I couldn't get the rights to Earthworm Jim. They said I could not make hardbound comics in the USA. They said I couldn't do leather. They said I was crazy. Well, maybe now they won't think I'm so crazy after all. I want this to be a book where it's like going through my art pages.
But I was sitting in another world.
Welcome to the Hero Shack Chronicles pre-show. So what we're doing here is in the hour before our live show, we're promoting our comics as well as other people's comics. Do you have a comic book you want to promote? Let us know and we can put your video in with these videos.
It was a moment that our land, our motherland, remembers, not with a vowed sense of joy, but rather horror. For it was a time where we were attacked by the mighty supreme military force of the German army. Women would arise, women not made of silk and soft flour, but rather women that would choose to be the Valkyries of the sky and fly above our motherland and face our foes with such fury and aggression to protect the motherland. They were known as the White Lily. They are the angels and warriors of the sky.
Hi, it's your boy Fresher Luke. I'm here to tell you about a new book and IP that I'm looking to get off the ground. The project in question is called Forsaken Gods, a 60-page full-color comic book that follows the adventures of an archaeologist named Samara Unkma and her search in trying to find out what caused a great war between the gods,
which resulted in the world to be filled with magic, dragons, spirits, and monsters, as well as ancient magical artifacts of immense power.
Anyway, the story of the book takes place when Samara and her hired help enter a vault that sits under the Great Iron Horse Mountain, as she looks for clues to the war's origin. Once there, her entire team is killed, leaving her to try and escape on her own, only to come face to face with an amazing weapon known only as the Skull Knight. This is issue 1 of a potential multi-issue series exploring Samara and her journey in trying to figure out who or what Skull Knight is, while also being pursued by deadly foes, hell-bent on either capturing or destroying the creature. As she is not only a woken Skull Knight, but also the long-sleeping old gods that survived the war who see the Skull Knight as a threat to their remaining power. The book itself will contain 50 pages of story with 10 pages of behind-the-scenes sketches, plus special guest art from some exceptionally talented artists and concept designers. All of it will be in full color. On top of that, also included in the base tier are some stickers and a special custom-made trading card featuring none other than the Skull Knight himself. If this sounds like a project for you, then vote with your dollar and back this campaign on Indiegogo. And also, feel free to spread the word by social media as well. Many thanks. I'm Fresher Luke, and thank you for considering Forsaken Gods. I hope to see you at the finish line.
Welcome to the Hero Shack Chronicles pre-show. So what we're doing here is in the hour before our live show, We're promoting our comics as well as other people's comics. Do you have a comic book you want to promote? Let us know and we can put your video in with these videos.
Hey everybody, we're finally launching Industry Issue 2. I'm very excited for that. With up story, more story pages, bigger, bolder action. Some really cool creators joining us, like Miss Sashi doing awesome back cover for us. Now, Pickles also really improved the story. We gotta gel together more on issue 2. So I'm really excited to show you all. Let's get into it.
Hi everyone, it's the writer and co-creator of Esther here, Dylan. I want to welcome you all to our second campaign for issue 2. Well, it's the first campaign for issue 2, but I want to say that this takes place directly after issue 1. So if you've not read issue 1, we will be offering a tier where you can get that. Issue 2, Damon's going to be fighting an extra dimensional monster, basically. He's going to have a hard time with this. We also we really were blown away by how much you guys liked Vodnik, our short story Ashcan. So we're going to be doing another ash can called the Eye of Maltstein. We're really excited about this one because our character's going to be fighting a giant. And I hope you love it as much as we do. I think you are going to love it.
So thank you all for joining us, and please do back the campaign, and most importantly, guys, share, because word of the mouth is just makes these campaigns, and it's something that will make or break our campaign. And you've been so good to us for the first issue, and we're hoping to get even better on the second one. Thank you so much, and have a good day.
Did you miss out on Legend of Lone Wolf like some kind of wiener? Well, now you got a second chance. You can get the hardcover book, you can get the Indiegogo cover, you can get the Kickstarter cover, you can pick up issue 1 in black and white, you can get it with the Muttman cover, you can get the J. Paul sheet cover, you can get a copy of the Banjo Man ash can. Oh yeah, we got a ton of comic books. They're all going to be available, and you're going to dig it. Yeah, brother!
This message, it's not for you. It's for the king who lives in you. This is not a message for humans. Humans are trying to figure out a way to save themselves. The king freely gives himself to be the savior. You know what? If you go to Obadiah, it says, "And saviors, deliverers shall come from Mount Zion." It speaks of many, not one. And as a matter of fact, all creation, come on, somebody, all of creation is waiting for one event. They're not waiting for anybody to come down on the cloud. They're waiting for the manifestation of the sons of God. What's going on? Maybe your denomination is waiting for something, but your cat, your dog, and your plants at home, they're waiting to see the real thing. Out of creation, we are the only ones who happen to not know what God's plan is. Tell me you believe it. He said it, if a seed abides alone, it gains nothing. But if a seed is buried in the ground and dies, it comes up and it produces many. It's like a virus I can't describe. Come on now. We got farmers in here. You take a piece of corn, you stick that in the ground, let that thing come up. First the blade, then the ear, then the full head in the ear. And when you open inside, you done put one in the ground. And when you open inside, there's rows upon rows upon rows of the identical seed that you placed in the ground. The harvest is not for people who believe in Jesus. The harvest is for the seed that has matured into Jesus. Come on. Said what you see ain't what you get.
Road Warrior Drake, this one is for you.
And Road Warrior Drake.
Yes. Yeah, I also read that. Kind of felt like
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, so I checked it out.
I like to see that.
Road Warrior Drake is coming with Comicsgate Second Wave Spring 2019. Cleaning the streets of spark pluggers and the bloody shadow of the Crimson.
Well, hello. I think I'm alone now. My wife is in the room, but she isn't live.
Hi, I'm here,
Hello.
Smarty Pants.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am okay.
Yeah,
Just okay.
just okay. I'm
Just
sorry to hear
okay.
that. Well, you weren't feeling 100% earlier today.
Okay, so let's get that elephant out of the room because I have friends that I work with that may be watching this. I have learned that I cannot take my med in the morning, especially without breakfast. So yeah. Oh, we're live. I have to get rid of that banner, so let me get rid of that.
Okay.
Boom, there we go. Okay. Welcome to Hero Shack Chronicles. I'm your host, Chris T, and this is my wife, Diana. And we are in two different locations in one house.
Yes.
So don't be alarmed. We're, social distancing and all that.
You're very funny.
So, how are we doing today? Have you been paying attention to Facebook over the last hour or so?
I have not. Should I have
Wow. Okay, so our friend Phil Russert
been?
is having palpitations. I think I feel really bad for him. He's freaking out. It's pretty much the same stuff. His show is always getting attacked and by that one other promoter, and it reminds me a lot of pro wrestling or the indie wrestling circuit.
Yeah.
Hey Terry, I see you out there, brother. But I don't know. I feel bad for him. I just feel bad for him. I don't want to get too deep into it because I don't follow him enough. I have no problems with Phil. It's just that we've been busy, so it's not been something like he's had a lot of great guests. His show is fantastic, from what I understand. When I do catch it, it's enjoyable. But it's not like our show. Our show is so cool that right now we have 2 viewers. That means you are part of an exclusive crowd, my friends. We are the elite of comic books.
You are so crazy.
There's nothing finer than a Hero Shack book and
I
a
know.
bottle of moonshiner.
Hey,
I don't
hey,
know. I
hey.
can't think of anything that rhymes with it.
How do I sound?
You sound awesome.
Do I sound okay? My new headphones, see? They're kind of big and boxy, but
Yeah. Can you say you love me?
I love you.
Oh, yeah, that sounds good. I like that.
They're a little
Welcome
big
to the show,
for my head,
Terry.
but it's okay. Hi, Terry. So I did not see that, but I have been sort of working on stuff. Terry, we're doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
So listen, everybody, if you know
things are almost back to normal around here.
Oh, good. That's always a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was a delayed response on that? I don't know.
had to weigh the options.
Yeah,
so
right.
listen, if you guys know of any comic book promo reels, I want to start stuffing the pre-show full of them. I just noticed I'm gonna have to find another one for Road Warrior because just because this is like it, just to be totally safe with the kids. Let's just say that it wasn't anything particularly bad, but I just I went at what I did was I went and grabbed his Indiegogo promo, and it's all cool and everything, but there's a young lady in there that might get people offended.
Oh.
So I'll just find another one. You know, it's
All right, I'm sure you.
It's not. I wouldn't censor him or nothing, but it's just like, well, if I can find something that doesn't have a little butt flash in the air. You know, I try to keep it so that, like, if my wife watches it, I can get away with showing it.
You're right.
Yeah. So what are you doing right now?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm in the show.
Oh, I thought you were going to say I'm in the shower the way that came out.
No.
I'm in the show. What?
I'm in the show with my new headphones and my new fancy mic.
Yeah.
I look like a true gamer.
You got a chance to proof 2/3 of the Hero Shack book.
I did. Oh, yeah.
What do you think?
I am loving the story. It is got a lot of funny little quirky things that it might be just funny to me because I know the source of them, being you. Like, I know that some of this is coming from your own personal background and sort of frustrations growing up. And,
yes, it does. It does play off of my childhood aggravations.
It does. Very true.
And it's kind of like a fantasy rant for me, but it's very enjoyable. I am enjoying it.
It's funny. Like some of the lines that you have written are just super funny. Like they're just very comical. The artwork, I think, is getting better and better. I know we say
Well,
that all the time, every time you do a book, but it's true. It's true. I mean, your art from like the very first book that you did to now, holy cow, and even the writing, you've always
So
been a great
I'm
writer, but
stopping right here just because I want to point out this is a cleaner version of what you guys were seeing the last couple of weeks.
uh-huh.
I've been learning how to ink on iPad a little better, so I keep
Mhm.
going back and redoing the inks. So
Mhm.
actually, I'd be a little bit more ahead of where I am in the book, except I keep going back and fixing little things, which is fine. We have plenty of time. The way I'm planning on releasing this is not standard, so it's not anything I have to worry about like with a crowdfund. Although
Right.
we may do a crowdfunding package, I've found that there are people who really look forward to that. And
Mhm.
so I may accommodate that with some sort of bling package and extras and stuff. But the book, this particular book, oh, there's the
Mhm.
middle of the book. I really want to I have this colored already. I don't have it up here yet. I really want to get this out there. I'm more concerned about getting eyes on the pages than I am about money in my wallet.
Spoken like a true business person.
Well, let me be honest, okay?
I knew that was coming.
The online market is saturated. If you go to any of the online comic
Mhm.
warehouses, there are thousands of titles. It seems like you can go for days, and they vary in quality from really, really, really great to,
Right.
oh my God, this person needs an art lesson.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you have every genre possible covered. How do you get people to look at your book? You know, that is starting to become something that I'm concerning myself with. So marketing and
Mhm.
promoting and advertising are important, and making a profit is important. But ultimately, I'm looking for something a little different. I'm looking for readership because readership will ultimately bring sales.
That's true.
You know, if you get a fan, for instance, Cyclopean is probably my most recognizable character.
Mhm.
If you get a fandom for him, and
Mhm.
then you put out a plush doll, a lot more people may want that little doll.
That's true. That is absolutely true.
Very
So
true.
as things are coming along, I am consciously trying to figure out a way to develop the characters. That's why the writing is getting a little wittier, but I'm
Mhm.
trying to get away from that James Gunn Guardians of the Galaxy type humor.
Right.
Because they have way too much humor, I think, sometimes. What you're seeing here, by the way, folks, is just the pages that I have roughed out with script. And this is insight on how I do my comics now. Right there, I still have the blue line in. I like drawing a blue line, and then I ink over that, which ultimately gets all the little squiggles out. You know, like right there, there's a lot of guides there, but what you're looking at is Beth, who's again handing out coffee mugs or cocoa mugs.
I was gonna say, or is it hot cocoa?
Yeah, and there's a reason I'm doing that because I'm putting on. Well, I guess I'll let the secret out. We only have two viewers right now,
Well, there'll
but I'm
people be
putting.
watching.
I'm putting. See, the creator of this. You can't really see what it is. It says blocked by EBS. It's a little frog mug, and the frog disappears because of the green screen.
Yep.
However, she's put out 4 of them with people who are notorious for blocking just about anybody for any reason. So
Mhm.
those are appearing on the little mugs. That's a little what would you call that? Easter egg.
Yes.
Hang on, I can actually show you. See, there they are. Those are the little mugs. Mine's the one that says blocked by EBS in the right hand.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it's just little Easter eggs. I'll show you another one that I just did.
Since the last time I looked at the book, you mean?
Oh yeah, right there. See what it says?
Welcome to Cherrytown, Tennessee.
That's right, because the town they're going to is called Cherrytown, and that's a reference to a group on Twitter.
Ah.
That is somewhat controversial at times, but basically they've been anti-CG, which is
Uh-huh.
just another political stand that you'll find. Well, not political, but comic book politics,
Yeah.
Where's the other one? Right here. This isn't really an Easter egg, but it's a marker. See? Now leaving New York State. Ooh. But I just like morphing the text and making it work in perspective. So I like to show that off. Yeah.
Well, looks good.
Does it?
I think
Fingers
so.
crossed. We got to hope.
But
I think it looks better. Every time I
I'm
say something
biased,
good, I blow myself away the next time. So I'm not going to say anything.
I'm very biased.
Yeah. You want to see that one thing colored? I want to show you.
Then I definitely want to see it.
Let's see it.
Thanks, Terry. Support. Yay.
So this is coming out of Procreate. This is out of Procreate, and it has none of the lettering, but basically the scene is Arctic Blast and Cyclopean have gone to his parents' house, and they spent the night. It's the night before Christmas Eve when they arrive, so it's Christmas Eve morning. And of course, there's about 8 inches of snow on everything when the day before it was perfectly clear. And Mom is accusing him of creating a snowstorm, which he denies unless it happened in his sleep, because dreams and stuff where things can happen.
Snowstorm.
Well,
that's the thing I don't get. How is he going to die if he created a snowstorm?
Oh no, he won't die. But so now that leads to a scene where he's out there shoveling with Cyclopean and talking to Pops, and that was where we saw her delivering the hot cocoa outside. But this is really cool because things are coming along. Like, I still have to replace a lot of the art. Like, this is the second page, and his eye is more detailed now, and Point Man Comics now appears on the monitor. This is when the UFO is being sent away, the team members, for disciplinary action, which basically was my way of opening them up for other plot lines.
You're roboting.
Am I roboting?
Yes, you are.
I can't really do much about it, I don't think. Let me see. I'm
You
online.
are kind of like weird sounding. Robotic.
Testing.
That sounds good.
I had to get way up on the mic for that. I could do the old 70s thing and just hold the mic to myself like this. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome
Oh my
to
God.
Wrestling. Tonight's match is Diana versus the Snack Foods. She is live in the arena. Trying not to be heard.
He could be trying to impersonate Wolfman Jack.
I could try that. He had like he was like, oh gosh, I don't even remember. I don't think I really could do Wolfman. I'm not much of an impersonator, unfortunately.
I'm so sorry. I forget I'm on camera. I'm over here multitasking.
That is it. No one that impersonated Wolfman Jack in over 30 years.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it right. You can't. It's Wolfman Jack.
They can't. I've seen people try it and fail miserably.
So what else were we going to talk about tonight, honey? We were going to talk about issue 3, which I've kind of run through. What about the future of Hero Shack? What do you see coming up? It's 2021. How are we going to expand? Are we going to really do more Kindle? Are we going to approach it Amazon?
We are going to, yes, we are. We are also going to become an LLC in the new year. I'm putting funds for that. I am going to learn how to market better, or actually market at all, because I don't really market. I just go, that sounds good.
We have to figure out what's the most cost-effective way to do this too.
We may need to I'm seriously looking at hiring somebody to help us, but with hiring somebody, there's a cost. And so that's why I want to become an LLC before we get into any of that stuff, because I need to have some legal boundaries and
tax
all of that.
information and all
Yeah.
that fun
Well, I
stuff.
have all that. I mean, I have that. We've been
No,
running
but
it
I
at
mean,
PBA,
you have
but
to get into all that. Like you have to, yeah, I know what you mean. It's
yeah.
it's more business. You
Yes.
can't just look at the employee and say, "Shut up, or you don't get dinner."
Yeah, you can't do that. Which
Yeah,
he
but
does to
you
me
can
all
do
the
that
time.
to me.
Or I do that to me. Yeah. We kind of do it to each other.
I'm innocent. Whenever I'm accused, I'm innocent until proven
You are
guilty.
not innocent. So yeah, we do have I do have some ideas about getting Hero Shack out there a little bit more. There are some Comic Cons I'm hoping to attend in the future.
I have cold feet about those.
We're going. You can have cold feet all you want. We're still going.
I'm just
It's
telling
not
you, I'm
even a
having cold feet
discussion.
about.
Nope. You have you always have cold feet about them. The morning we go, you're pacing, you're worried, you're anxious. It's like I tell them to go. Just go walk. I say go and meet all our neighbors while I set up the booth.
Which I
That's
do,
not
and I
the
do
thing.
well with that.
You
And
do
I
very
always,
well with that.
see, the thing is, I always adapt and I do fine. It's just that, no, I'm just not sure how big. I'm not even sure how big comics are anymore right now. I'm thinking like, okay, so if let's say the comic industry is all but dead, I'm fine with that. We'll still figure out a way to make ours succeed. But I'm not even sure like how the attendance is and who's actually going and what they're going for, like the demographics. We need to understand our demographics. We need to understand our market and who we're marketing to.
That's why I said marketing. I have to learn more about marketing because everything you
Snap,
just
snap.
talked
It's been
about.
20 minutes since you said that. What have you learned?
I'm sorry. I did say that I am multitasking because I have a huge project due on Sunday. I am here, but I'm reading my research stuff and trying to.
You do understand Saturday we have a corporate meeting and we expect all the reports.
Yeah.
I'd like a pie chart, please.
Okay, let's see. What's Terry been working on?
Well, I'm doing a lot of hand lettering, so it's.
Oh,
I do a
wow.
lot of inking by hand too. So
Hmm.
I'm one of those traditionalists who really will only do anything digital if necessary.
Absolutely. You are definitely.
I have to admit, I have gone completely digital.
We
The
know.
other day, I picked up a pen and I couldn't figure out which end wrote. So
That's
I
not
was like,
true.
I know if I do this the right way, it'll put stuff on this stuff called paper.
Yeah.
You're so bad, Terry. Oh my God. Stop it.
No, I really have sold out to the digital, but in doing so, I'm learning more advanced digital tricks, which is really helping me in the long run. The coloring is starting to get. I'm starting to learn some freaky effects, and as soon as I can control it, it's going to be really nice. But right now, I kind of splurge all over a page. Like, okay, so look at behind me. Look at that big green chest. Why am I obsessed with lime green?
I don't know.
The thing is, usually when people first learn the digital tools, they start experimenting with everything.
Oh yeah,
I know this because I've done it.
Fortunately, my intellect has become such. Like I'm okay. So I'll be honest. I'm probably going to be senile by the time I'm 70 because I can already feel stuff slipping away. Like if something looks like it's going to be too complicated, like a video game, I go, nah, I'll just pass. It looks awesome, but I'm not going to bother because if I get past like 4 or 5 steps in progressions, I get lost. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is a pain in the butt. So that's why I like making the comics. You just write the story, you draw it, you color it, you letter it, you're done. You know, it's like it's 4 or 5 steps, boom.
Me,
I saw a survey. Hey Terry, how come you? So answer this, right? Because I had to answer it too. Well, I didn't have to, but I chose to. The topic was, what was it? Why is it hard for you to work with artists? Was the topic. That's what they put up, and I answered it because I'm an a-hole. Because I took it to mean, why am I hard to work with other people? And I couldn't think of another answer other than I'm a jerk. I'm a complete a-hole to work with.
When working with another creative, you're going to disagree on everything because you look at it one way, the other person looks at another way, and they think their way is the best way, and you think your way is the best way, and there's no middle ground. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
When it comes to being creative, there is no middle ground.
It's true. That is really true. And yet there are people who do it fine. So I don't understand. Like when I look at the master, John Byrne, he has worked with some of the best writers. He's been a good writer. He's worked with some of the best anchors. He's been a good anchor. The only thing I haven't really seen him do professionally is color. I've seen him do splash lettering. He could probably do a whole issue, no problem. I don't know if he has in the indies, but basically he would give his talent into a team and produce great comics with Marvel and DC. And I'm like, I don't think I could do that. Like, I don't know how much of that I could actually do because I don't let go of my stuff very easily either.
No.
Like this Last of the Reapers where I included the werebear. That poor guy had no input on his character. I just kind of took it and did my own thing. And I'm like, hey, by the way, your werebear is going to save the planet. Are you okay with that? Like he was supposed to have a cameo and he ends up being like one of the main characters in the book. And the same thing with this book. I put in 2 real people into the story. Because I one of my friends on Twitter, she showed interest in being drawn in the comic. And I was like, okay, I'll put you and your husband in there. And like, I think most professionals would have put in a cameo, like maybe a panel or 2, 3 tops. No, they're part of the main story. They'll actually be in the final battle with the 2 superheroes because, of course, I made them parents of one of them. I'm like, I don't know how to just do things subtly. If I tell you you're going to be in a book, I try to put you up there with the stars. I'm like, yep, suddenly you got superpowers and you're in the book. You're going to be a superhero. That's kind of scary.
What most people don't understand is that when it comes to creative endeavors, it's like if you say you're going to put someone in a book, they have no idea what you're going to do to them.
Yeah, it might be a cameo. You might end up being the next Doctor Doom. You have no clue.
That's true.
Honey, you're muted. My love, you're muted.
I'm sorry. We have Jace, our son Jace.
Hey, Jace.
Jace. And Jess in the Facebook chat. I don't know if they're still there or not. But.
Hey, Jason, Jess. Both very dear
speaking of my heart. I put something on your Facebook post about the guy who's taking on Santa Claus.
Now I didn't see it yet, but I should talk a little bit about Christmas Man.
Yeah,
actually, Christmas Man is over my shoulder.
No, I found this image of one of the of a member of the Emerald Guard who protects Santa Claus.
No kidding.
That's where that came from. I didn't know what that was for.
I haven't seen it yet. Hang on, I'm going to jump over.
It was part of an animated. It's part of an animated show called Marvel Superheroes Presents Frostbite. Where they go and save Santa Claus from Loki and the Frost Giants.
That's fantastic. Let's see. Well, I wanted to play with the Santa Claus mythology, specifically because of the story content. But the guy that you're seeing there is a lot of fun because he's actually a kid. Think like a demon tricks a kid into becoming a supervillain to try to kill people in general. He doesn't really have a goal other than hurting people, but he's convinced the guy that it's all about killing Santa and all the pretenders. So, you know, if you're Santa pretender, God, where is this thing? You're just as like, you know, if you're Santa's helper, you're in just as much trouble as if you were Santa, because these guys want to take your hide. Santa beware. Yeah. Okay. I don't see it. Oh, wait a minute.
It's part of.
Oh yeah. All right. Yeah. You know what? I didn't see the post, but she said to me, she said he posted something about the Emerald Guard, and I said maybe it looks something like one of the Green Lantern's enemies or something, because obviously Mr. Christmas's costume isn't like super unique, and the star is actually similar to the one on the Emerald Guard's chest. on Mr. Christmas's.
Yeah.
But he's a kid. He's got that suit is not actually a suit. It's more of a biological growth.
Okay.
comes about from the magic of the little cyber sprite, which is the guy in the lime green armor. And the truth behind him is he's actually an action figure that's been possessed by the evil spirit.
Okay.
The kid got cyber sprite as a gift from a church that gives out toys to poor kids. And the kid was so bitter because Santa Claus didn't come to his house and give him what he wanted after being perfect all year, that the evil spirit was drawn to him and brainwashed him and manipulated him, mutated him, and made him into this super hero. Because so obviously, to clue the reader in, the little demonic toy keeps trying to call him a super villain, but corrects himself every time to say hero.
Yeah.
So like I wrote it so that it's really campy and obvious, but the kid doesn't really get it because he's only like 9 or 10 years old.
Okay.
And he's from a single mom. He's upset that dad's not there, Santa's not there. It sounds familiar, doesn't it, honey?
Very.
She's muted. She can't answer me. But that basically was my upbringing, and I was very upset as a child when I found out that Santa Claus wasn't real. I had bought in 210%.
Who told you that?
Oh,
Who told
brother.
you that?
Oh, I gotta tell you, man. I waited up all night for that dude. I was up. I remember eating instant coffee, taking it in my mouth and eating it. So I get caffeine. I'm like, I don't know, maybe 9 years old. And I remember like chomping on this instant coffee going, but it kept me awake. It was probably just the disgusting taste because I can't imagine that much caffeine in my body. But yeah, you never showed, dickhead. And so this little kid goes through a very similar experience. I dramatize it a bit. The demon plays on those things by the dialogue basically comes from thoughts that I've had about it at certain times. Like, okay, we don't have a lot of viewers, so I'm going to say this. So the demon tells the child that Santa doesn't visit him because Santa hates poor people.
Oh, jeez.
And so the kid gets really bitter. Ultimately, though, my guest stars are going to basically explain to him the secret of Santa off camera, so that we can't give away the secret of Santa to little kids, but we're going to tell this 9-year-old mutated, freaky supervillain secret of Santa. And meanwhile, the demon is going to be cast out, but only after Arctic Blast tears off an arm or two. Because remember, he's just a toy. So to get what he wants, the guy, he's going to tear off body parts, which I'm thinking like, oh no, Mr. Bill type humor. If you remember Mr. Bill from Saturday Night Live in the 70s.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah, so I'll be trying to get that rhythm for comedy at the end. And basically it's all going to end happily ever after. Cyclopean's going to get to meet Santa Claus for the first time, who's actually the husband of the guest star. Like, he's the other half of the guest starring couple, because he's a mammal metamorphic. That was the title I gave for his powers. He's a mammal metamorphic, which means he can transform into any mammal. Now, the reason I wanted to make that specific is because somewhere down the road, if I continue with this current universe, he could be the one to reveal to Cyclopean that he's human. Because at this point in this universe, he has no idea. Shinobi 1 just entered and says,
"Hello, Shinobi.
Mighty Geek," and I agree with him. What's up, bro? What's up? I'm posting to the chat if it'll go. And of course, everybody's welcome. I can't necessarily guarantee you'll last if you come in and post pornography or cuss, or if my wife gives me that look like, get this person out of here, you will be booted.
Stop. You make me sound terrible.
No, but if someone came in and was nasty, you would give me that look.
I would.
Yeah, you would be like, Mr. Christopher.
Santa gives away lumps of coal to naughty kids, right?
Well, that's the legend. The problem in the story is basically I'm venting a childhood upset. So like I've made it ultimately dramatic. So there's no reasoning with this kid until the demon tries to actually kill a human. And when it comes to a human, Well, so he gets the kid to kill a deer, right? Using his Christmas powers. And the kid actually thinks it's cool. Like most kids, when they go hunting, well, I didn't like it, but a lot of kids like hunting. And I know because I live in a rural area. But when it comes to humans, this kid didn't want anything to do with killing a Santa Claus, whether he was fake or otherwise. And in the story, that becomes a plot point because that's when the demon has to. Okay, this isn't funny, but the demon basically has to enter him. So in the story, because the suit is like a biological robotic technic thing, a cockpit kind of forms on the back of the kid, who's of course this big guy, this big super villain guy. And he gets in it, it's like a cockpit on his back, and he rides him kind of like a walker on the two-legged walkers in Star Wars.
Yeah.
So the kid, he can't shut off the kid's vocals because if he does, it shuts off the respiratory, which will kill his basically living armor. So he's hanging off the kid's back on this tray that hangs off his shoulders, basically. And the kid is protesting the whole time verbally, but can't do anything other than whatever the demon is controlling him to do. So I'm hoping to have a lot of fun there. I'm not going to call this guy a demon, though. I'm saying that because, just to describe it to you guys. But he's like he's like a fairy. He's just an evil little spirit sprite thing. But he's got a doll that he got into, a cyber sprite.
Oh my God. Like when you talk about it like this on the show, it sounds like some really weird comic, but when you actually read it, it's very entertaining.
It is very weird, but it needs everything to make it palatable. Right now, I'm reading off the recipe, and you're like, "Ooh, olives and peanuts together." Yes, but when you mix it with Worcestershire sauce and this, you know what I mean?
He doesn't cook, Terry. Can you tell?
Well, obviously,
God.
but it's kind of like when you read a recipe and it sounds weird.
I've seen a lot of Stranger Things made with Worcestershire sauce.
I just like I think that we have to start breaking boundaries because the thing that has made digital comics not work is it hasn't had its own hero. If you think about comics of like every decade, every era, you can point to like Superman, Batman, Spider-Man. There were these icon heroes created. And I think they kind of fizzled after that, like it seems like they off the 60s for a long time.
And then if you go further than that, you point to newspaper comic strips.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny because the first books were just the strips pasted together for a book. And it's like our art form.
I'm gonna let you in a little secret.
Our craft has literally grown out of. Go on.
You know the costumes that superheroes wear?
Yeah.
The guy who did it first was found in a newspaper comic strip.
Yeah.
And that would be Lee Fawkes the Phantom. There's just one problem. In comic book form, he's more popular in other countries around the world.
This is actually very true. When you look at just manga, now I know a lot of people roll their eyes. It's Japanese cartoon comics, whatever.
Yeah.
The sheer popularity of it is the same medium, but they read the other direction. That's the only real difference. And it's selling like hotcakes, which tells me, okay, so Marvel and DC have tried to live on legacy characters. That's fine. But those legacy characters have actually overshadowed any chance a new character would have. And then the new characters they push, like the female Captain Marvel, the Ms. Marvel. I can't even think of a new DC character. I mean, maybe Harley Quinn, who I think messed up completely.
The thing about Harley Quinn is she didn't originate in the comics.
Right. And that was one of the reasons she got so messed up.
Right.
She went from like a family TV show or cartoon where she was a little gay to the comics where she was a little more into the movie where I didn't think she was that bad in the movie. She was a little slutty, but she wasn't real bad. But then they have these cartoons where she's like F you and she's messing up like she's doing political things and it just gets weird. And then her movie, Birds of Prey.
The
Oh
thing
my
about
God.
Harley Quinn, you have to remember is Harley Quinn is a psychiatrist. She's
Yeah.
literally one of the smartest people in the room.
And I really wish the writers knew it too.
That's the thing about Harley Quinn. She's usually one of the smartest people in the room.
Well, I will say
Dude.
this. When a writer does know how to write her and her humor, she can be fantastic as a character.
Right.
But all too often I hear stuff and I'm like, okay, Harley wouldn't do that. Harley wouldn't say that. Harley wouldn't be that stupid.
No.
Like in her movie, she goes in with
No,
a
she
shotgun
wouldn't.
and starts shooting cops with sandbags and somehow gets away with it. Goes all through the police station shooting cops. And I'm like, number one, she wouldn't be that dumb. She would have a better plan than that. And number two, she would have been taken down. There were too many cops with guns that would have drawn on her.
Exactly.
So I'm like, that's bad writing right there.
Exactly. She would have did what she did to the Batman. Used one of the Joker's old discarded plans, modified it, and made it work.
Yep.
Hey, Chris.
Yes,
Did
my
you
love.
notice that Shinobi 1 said characters tend to stay dead in manga?
Yes, I did, which is actually exciting because I agree with that philosophy. In in the first year of comics, I did Hero Shack Sandbox, and we did kill off the original Doc Oz, and we did kill off 55. 55 is gone. Moment of silence, please. Thank you. Okay, but he's gone, and he's never coming back. Doc Oz came back as a totally different character. I just wanted to reuse the name, but the philosophy and the even the power set is different because the Doc Oz in our new version is smart and intellectual, whereas the old one, he was just a powerhouse with the blood of Odin and Zeus.
Ah. That's another thing that most people forget about. They don't use the Olympian gods. They don't use the Norse gods anymore.
Well, you know, I have an idea that I've been kicking around for Hercules and the Olympians. But when I actually pitched it to someone who is a friend of mine, she told me that it sounded a lot like aliens or predators, because my thought was you could have this wonderful Pangea type continent, right? And it's divided up by little, rivers and whatnot. And you have like humans and elves and dwarves, all that stuff. And there's a race of human-like creatures that are considered to be godlike, where you would have your Zeus and your Hercules and all that jazz. And at some point, the Almighty gets upset and tears Olympus out of the continent with all the gods on that little piece of continent, which would give you the legend of Mount Olympus in the sky. And he transports into the Antarctic, where the idea was to instantly freeze the gods so they would no longer trouble the humans. And at that point, he does this huge shift of the continents, which explains the whole Pangea thing. And everything's great for, 10,000 years or whatever. But now global warming is taking effect and Olympus is thawing, and Hercules and all the gods are coming loose with the wrath against the human race. But they said that there was a story where the Predator ship crashed into the Antarctic, and later and they were getting out.
Well, that was Alien versus Predator. That's probably why.
Yeah, well, when they said that to me, I was like, oh, well, that was the big deal of my story. I guess I'm not going to use that.
It's going to be too close to Alien versus Predator, which is.
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure.
You'll probably be sued by the movie company. You'll probably be sued by the whoever holds the rights to produce the comics for it too.
Maybe. I mean, you can rip off a concept like that if you twist it up a little bit, but I don't want to. Like, that was the whole hook. I'm like, well, without the hook, what good is it? I don't care if Hercules and the gods are coming. I wanted to have this really cool thing where Mount Olympus is coming up from global warming, because it can't do it now. And I've never seen that movie, so it was even twice as hard for me to hear. I was like, no, really? Like, are you sure? Are you sure it was really in Antarctica? Really?
It was in Antarctica.
Oh, heartbreak.
Because the predators built this pyramid under the ice.
See, those guys are jerks. They took away my fun idea. I guess I could.
They built this during ancient times because they influenced the Aztecs and a few other civilizations. That's what. That's how it was.
There's still a ton of stuff under the sun.
Yeah.
Well, nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun. It's just how you mix it and how you get it going. So maybe it'll come up in a future date if I have a better idea. But yeah, I dropped it because I was like, I'm not going to do something that's that close to a movie, like, or to anything that I find, like, I do Cyclopean, who's kind of a ripoff of Superman, but he's so significantly different that I'm like, well, I can get away with that. But like, I'm having a dick of a time trying to figure out a Batman or a Spider-Man type character that doesn't look totally ripoff,
Yeah. Well, you can do a Batman type character, but if you want to use the Greek pantheon, you can go with Minerva as your Batman analog.
It's just difficult, and because I know that so many creators have already walked this path going, gosh, I want a Batman character. Like, I look out and I see, like, okay, there's Moon Knight, there's Black Panther in his own way. Just having that kind of dark color look.
Yeah, actually, Black Panther is not a. You have to remember, Batman was a detective first,
right,
and a superhero second. Black Panther, on the other hand, he's a king first, and a superhero second. He's more of a religious icon. That's what Black Panther is.
And you know what's funny, though? I don't even think about their characters when I'm talking about them. I just realized that because I'm thinking strictly look, like just the look of them. Like, because you're right. Like Moon Knight, I believe Mark Spector was originally a millionaire, kind of like Bruce, but it turns out he has like multiple personalities or something.
Yeah, that's what makes him so different. His multiple personalities, which works in many different types of stories because you can focus on one personality per story.
Oh, yeah. And you can also just, if you're sick of it, can you imagine the ability to go in as a writer and they put you with a character and you're like, I hate the things the last writer did. So here's a new personality.
Exactly.
That's pretty darn.
This is the reason why Moon Knight can never be canceled.
Yeah. Yeah. He just changes it up.
Exactly.
So what else is new in comic books?
What about the shared universe you were talking
yes,
about?
I'm really kicking around the idea of restarting a shared universe somehow. Preston Poulter has a little something on his Discord, but nobody's maintained it, and it's really not gone anywhere. There was the old Zombicron thing, but that kind of blew up in our faces because the guy was like kind of a con man in Australia taking millions for a skywalk that was never going to happen in space. And I don't know, it's like the factions online are killing my interest in being online for comics. Between Comicsgate and War Campaign, and I guess now Ethan Van Sciver has a new group called ICE, Independent Comic Empire. I'm like, oh, good God, can't we just have like Super Friends? Like, because I thought we were getting that.
What happened to the Super Friends?
What's that?
Whatever happened to the Super Friends?
Well, they got canceled, but but it wasn't from the woke society. It was bad ratings, I think.
No, they went through several name changes.
That's true. They did. Weren't they called Superpowers at one time?
It went from being Super Friends to the Superpowers team, and a few other things that became very forgettable.
Now, I do have to confess, everything from the Super Friends to the last one I remember in
Did you see what Shinobi put down?
What did he say?
It's EVS and his super goons.
Well, unfortunately, that's kind of what it's like, and like So here
Yeah.
I am. I have all these friends that I've made, and when we were doing the shared universe on Wikidom, Wiki Fandom, or whatever it was,
Yeah.
I felt like we had, people who cared about each other, and there was new people flowing in, and there was always creativity happening. People wanted pinups drawn, or you could just take inspiration and draw anything you wanted to and add it to a character. It was fun. And then it all fell apart, and it's never come back. And I miss that, and I think that the community that was there misses it. When I expressed a sadness about it, there were several people who were like, "Yeah, man, I miss it too." The thing is, to maintain and run one of those can be quite time consuming, and I can barely find time to look at my wife and have a good dinner. Let alone, you know what I mean? We're so busy. It's like, how would I run that too? So I don't know, but I do miss the whole shared universe thing, and I wish that whatever was happening with the old one could have been averted, like somehow satisfied without destroying it, but it was destroyed,
Yeah.
and that is almost like a warning sign. Like, even if you got a successful shared universe server up, how long could it last before somebody was like, this sucks, everybody go somewhere else, let's cancel this one? It's like, I just don't like that whole, I don't know what you want to call it. It's almost like a predatory friendship where people just will turn on each other. And I don't know. I've tried to stay very quiet no matter what people do. Preston Poulter has been popular and then not popular. I still like the guy. He's still my friend. But it's the same thing with like Mecha Cheese, Vicky. But there are some people who have always been cool to me. But there are people who, like, they get into controversies, and the controversies don't bother me, but it seems to do a number on the community.
It does.
Want to divide for sides and stuff, and I'm like, hey, look, somebody said something stupid. That's kind of the nature of being online, okay? But that's not how a lot of people take it. It becomes very serious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do the Joker thing. Why so serious?
Oh my gosh.
Well, I mean, like, the only thing I want to get serious about is like politics. I'm like, hey, if there was election fraud, I want to know about it. I want to know, even if it was a little witty election fraud. Because if I'm eating a sandwich and if there's dog poop in there, I want to know, even if it's just a little itty bitty dog poop. I want to know where it is. I feel the same.
With the D&D group I was with.
What's that?
With the D&D group I was with a while back, we used to have this rule that says, check your politics at the door.
Hallelujah. It does nothing but divide anyways, unless you're with the choir, and then what are y'all doing singing the same song? That's boring. Let's do something.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's the only thing I like to get serious about is politics. Comic books for me are the escape, and like with Preston, I backed Preston's last effort, which is an omnibus, if you will, of White Lily. And I really don't have an interest in the character. I liked the comic art. I liked the style. And I know that I know at least one person who will really get a kick out of it. If nothing else, they'll laugh at the novelty of a lesbian fighter pilot comic book. Like, and I'm like, this is exactly what comics should be. They don't appeal. Not every comic appeals to every reader. And it's the place to be crazy like that. I'd rather have a comic book like that than a movie.
Exactly.
I mean, not that don't get me wrong, lesbian fighter pilots in movies, I'm sure are fair game and totally, cool if anybody wants to put one out. But it's not my cup of tea. I wouldn't be going. I'd be like, oh yeah, honey, you go see that movie. I'll wait for TNT.
It's one of those things where you want to wait to see what's what with it.
Yeah. That's what I did with Birds of Prey, and I was glad I waited because it came on HBO. I watched it 4 times. Now, for me, that's an important marker because even a bad superhero movie, if I watch it 4 times, I usually fall in love with it. I find a way, like,
Right.
You'd be amazed to find out one of my most favorite movies of all time is Daredevil with Matt. What's his face?
With Ben Affleck.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, him, not Matt.
Yeah.
I love the movie.
Even though it didn't follow the comic origin exactly as far as some of the characters go, it was made for an entirely different audience.
Yes,
That's what most
a
people
different
didn't get.
time. And I remember when it came out, it was like, see, people don't understand. It wasn't like there was a new superhero movie every other month or whatever.
Right.
It was tucked in between like Blade and Superman or Batman. That was about your choices.
Those were your choices.
Yep. And to have
Superman,
Daredevil. I mean, I was like, of all the characters in Marvel, they chose the blind guy who has no real superpower other than radar. Freaking love it. And Elektra appeased that teenage eye candy thing. She was beautiful.
Right.
And even though I go back and I watch her now and she can't do a single move that looks right, like you can tell she's an actress trying to look tough.
Right.
She was still fun to watch.
Well, this is why I say most people don't understand that when you make a movie, you're not making it for one specific audience, you're making it for everyone. So you have to appease everyone.
Yeah, and I think sometimes though they get too concerned about appeasing everyone. Like sometimes they lose focus on what they're doing.
Yeah,
and it gets kind of weird. I had to help someone with a rogue character the other night. It was exhausting. Okay, so now I'm going to sound stupid. You mean you created a rogue character or somebody went rogue? Because it's been, I'm going to be honest, it's been 40 years.
Are hard to create. I'm going to tell you this right now. Because in order to create a rogue character, there's a lot of politics involved. There has to be for that to work.
It's been literally probably 40 years since I sat down and seriously played D&D, like with graph paper and books and dice and
exactly.
I used to draw dungeons for days. Those were the most fun.
It was like when I discovered Big Eyes, Small Mouth RPGs, the anime RPGs.
Yep.
I was like, whoa. So what I did was I created a blind martial arts semester.
Hey, Miss Diana. What's your favorite Dungeons and Dragons memory?
What's my what?
What's your favorite Dungeons and Dragons memory?
I don't play Dungeons and Dragons, but my family does.
So your memory is of your family playing Dungeons and Dragons?
Yeah.
Well,
my battery is low on my headphones, so I don't know what to do. I might have to leave.
No, go speaker.
Well, if you have to go, we understand.
All right, I'm going to do that.
We only have 7 minutes.
No, she won't be able to hear us if a battery dies in the headset.
Yeah, she's going to have to switch that over to her either her other headphones or a speaker.
Yeah, I'm just going on the speaker live, like a live. Well, you know what I mean. I'm just.
You actually sound a little cleaner that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have more of a deeper tone. It's more rich.
Hold on, I had to plug it in. Well, they're like I said, they're new to me, but I like them because they're cordless and those earbuds fall out of my ears all the time.
Yeah, I think those used to be mine. Yeah.
No, these were Michael's that gave.
Yes, Michael gave them to me.
Ooh,
and I gave him Mike, and I gave him to Riss. And now you.
Those were another pair.
I don't think so, but I hope so. That's fine. I don't care
Do you
either
want
way.
them back?
No, not at all.
I'm going to take my headphones.
No, I'm very happy with the studio the way I have it up here.
Good. I don't want to come sit near you anyways.
I wish you would come back up here because our ratings used to be better.
No, they were not.
Yeah, we used to get thousands of views, and now we only get
I
like.
can't take it. Oh my god.
No, to get back to D&D for a second.
Sure.
I can say that we do have 2 daughters that play faithfully every week. They're meeting on Zoom, I believe, and doing doing their thing.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Every Sunday, our daughter's down there cackling like a a drunken wench.
Oh my God, it's so funny.
Yeah.
You listen to them.
But you know, at least you know they're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's kind of neat because I understand enough about the game still to know what they're doing, but it's not something that I'm all that familiar with.
Oh, that's
man,
odd.
that stinks.
You
Yeah.
could come up some people online that you know.
Oh, it was real. It was real funny when the makers of D&D found out that Vin Diesel was a geek at heart and was a diehard D&D fan. Or should I say, a diehard D&D player? They created a character class after his movie, The Last Witch Hunter.
Oh yeah. But you know, the thing with Vin Diesel, I don't know, but I've heard that he's homosexual, and I always thought that was the one of the coolest things about him, because he was every bit as much of a macho drama king movie star as, you know, Stallone and Schwarzenegger. He wasn't as successful, but he was drilled in that same mold. And if he was homosexual, I never heard anywhere but rumor mills. And I was like, wow, man, he's got control of his career. He's managed his image, and whether he is or isn't doesn't really matter until you get people who go, hey, you know, I hear he's gay. I'm like, well, if he is, he is. He's still a good action film. I remember
he's a geek at heart, but with it, well, as far as anything else goes, his fans really don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and I wish there was more like that, kind of like this whole Emily Elliott, what's his face thing.
Elliot Page.
Yeah, I'm like, you know, I wish I could care, and I'm sorry, Jesus, I wish I cared more. But if someone wants to flip their gender now, I'm like, it's old hat. You know, what's the big deal? Critical Role. I do not like Critical Role. I think Critical Role was that movie or that show where somebody takes over for the president somewhere down the line of chain of command because so many officials. Is that the right show?
Stuff is close to it, but I can't think of the title of the show. But I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen it or if I'm even talking about the right thing, Shinobi. But if you're saying it's a good show, I might check it out. There is a lot of time spent where I'm just drawing, coloring, writing. And God, you know what I've been doing, and it's so much fun, is I've been watching 80s and 90s wrestling. And by watching, I mean, I'm not really have my eyes fixated on this square, poor resolution VHS tape bootleg thing. I'm listening to it, and it cracks me up at how lousy some of it is. It's like so bad, it can't be good. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. That's what made it so popular.
Oh, no, I didn't. I haven't seen that, Shinobi. I thought you were talking about that one. So there's a stupid Fox show where like they killed the president, the vice president, the speaker of the house, so on and so forth. A whole bunch of officials got killed, and someone like 13th in line becomes president of the United States. He's like, I'm just the secretary of janitorial services. Well, sir, now you're in charge of the nuke button. It's like it's a drama freak out thing.
The same thing with Why the Last Man. The Secretary of the Interior became the president, and she was like, "What am I supposed to do? I'm just the Secretary of the Interior. I don't know how to do this stuff."
Well, you know, I've often said I should never be president of the United States, because if I was, everybody would hate me, because I really would have a whole different approach. And I would be assassinated within the first 4 hours, because I'd be like, all right, everybody in the military, let's have a party. Just park those Jeeps and park those ships. We're going to save on gas today, and everybody's going to party for a day. They'd be like, nope, you're fired. You're out. I'd want to feed the poor, and they'd say, no, you can't do it that way. You need to go this way. Because I would just want to bring food. I'd be like, no, come on, get the whole cabinet. We're going to McDonald's. We're going to go down and feed all those homeless people down in the park. And they would be like, no. I'd be sending the FBI out, get them coupons from McDonald's. It's going to be cheaper. We're going to save some money. We're going to feed some people. Because the FBI is good for nothing anyways. They might as well be feeding the poor. You know what I mean? They get a case and it's like, hey, what'd you do with the evidence? We burnt it and then we lost it and then we bleached it and then we lost it again. How do you do that? God, I keep better track of my operating procedure. It's just crazy. Most of the time when we hear how bad they mess something up, they didn't mess something up. It's cover up. They're doing whatever they want. They're going like, Hillary deleted her 30,000 emails. Bull crap. They're on some server somewhere. You guys got them and you're just not releasing them. We're not stupid. Everything is, once it goes on the internet, it's somewhere. It's always somewhere. And they know how to put, they know where everything goes. It's not like they suddenly went, oh, she deleted them. They're gone from the planet. No. Some forensic tech is sitting there going, oh, yeah, they're over here on AOL server. They're over here in the Google server. They're down here in Yahoo, too, because they emailed this fool. Yeah.
What they fail to realize is once it leaves your computer, it's going to be on somebody's server.
Yeah, it's going to be somewhere. If you're a government tech, I can't believe you don't have the ability to find it. I'm sorry, you have the most sophisticated tools to track stuff like that. Shoot, we could do it from home if we got the right software. So it's just ridiculous. Hey, Diana, are you okay?
I'm fine. Yeah, why?
You haven't moved for about 10 minutes. You're just kind of frozen.
Well, everybody's frozen, so I figured I'd join the group and be frozen with all of you. But I am getting ready to... You're such a dork. I'm getting ready to head off, guys. I have an early day in the morning, and I have to get this research paper.
Well, I want to point out something here, and I'm worried.
Wow.
This is week number 2. Gary hasn't been here.
You changed it to Wednesday night. It says night.
He told me to change it to Wednesday, so maybe because it started up again.
Maybe.
However, so before you go,
what?
I want to also talk about how we want to start streaming a lot more.
We do.
We do. We're going to be bringing back God Chat to some capacity. There's been some requests for God Chat.
Well, it's been like months, but yeah, there were some.
No, I get some every week.
Do you?
Yeah. And Jess is usually the one. But no, I've gotten it from a few other people too who ask how it's going with it or what we're doing with it. And we frankly haven't done much with it because the audience for God Chat really took a dive. People just didn't want to hear it. At least they didn't want to hear what I was saying, which is not uncommon. So maybe we should open up the God Chat to more voices. Maybe we can find a host.
That would be good.
Yeah. It's a very controversial subject and people get touchy.
I've read the comments asking where it disappeared to.
Where did it disappear to?
Yeah.
My kitchen table. Basically,
no, he's been
talking.
I think that you have just been focusing so much on drawing and writing that you have been absorbed into that world.
By and large, that has. If it wasn't that,
then there was a period that we were posting it and nobody was showing up. It was just you and I. We're like, well, this is kind of silly.
Well, the thing is, we if we do the streams, we want interactivity. It's more fun with more people, and we love having Terry here. Lorenzo is usually here too. I think maybe I offended people. I don't know.
You do offend people all the time.
I said some controversial stuff. Maybe you should be in this seat.
Censor you.
Yeah, you could mute me when I get outrageous. But I also should probably stop tweeting. I tweet some crap like.
I don't even look. I can't even read the stuff you tweet. Like I'm like, I'm at work and then my phone is bopping away, and I look down. I'm like, I gotta silence this. My God, it's my husband again. What are you doing? Doesn't even work. I know you're working.
Yeah, of course.
You need to let it go, my friend. Let go. Take a deep breath.
Well, no. Here's the thing. I do believe
bad news.
What's that, Gary?
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but you are now witnessing a geek in his natural habitat.
Is that what this is? Because like I don't know. Like
Well, you have to compound it with Asperger's, and you have to remember I haven't been taking my crazy pill,
yes,
which
it's not your crazy pill, but yes, and we had a conversation about that. Remember?
Okay.
You laughed.
When they get in their
You
natural
make that funny
environment,
face. Oh my god.
like, you have to understand, most geeks, when they get in their natural environment, people mistake them for being crazy.
Well, no, I married him knowing he was crazy. It's not that. It's that, you know, we were doing God Chat for a while, and it was going really, really well. But then we changed the format. We got out of Facebook, and we went to the StreamYard, and many people that were coming did not really like it. They didn't, you know, for whatever reason. Ever since we changed to StreamYard is when our viewership has gone down.
which is weird because we tripled the locations in which we stream while we do it.
But it's from our Facebook page and our people that know us in person that were
Well, and what happens is this works. This goes straight on Facebook, but then we don't see them in the chat unless we have it on the side, and then it becomes almost impossible to track.
advertise more. Yeah, Shinobi. That's another thing that I plan on doing in the new year is to really look at. Amazon has some advertising programs that we can sign up for. Facebook too.
Can I be honest?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to buy some commercial airtime.
Yeah. Well, we had that offer, and the guy never got in touch with us.
No, what I'm talking about is okay. So, do you know My Pillow? Mike from My Pillow. Do you remember him?
I do.
Okay. I remember watching Mike 3 years ago get on the air. Hello, boys and girls. I got this pillow. It's only $89.99. Come buy my pillow. No, it's only selling for $19.99 now. But he's made a fortune. So I want to buy up a bunch of late night TV commercial space all over the country in major markets.
All right.
And have a Hero Shack commercial where we have grandiose music and flashy animation and sell our comic to a non-comic crowd.
I see.
I wanted to figure out a way to get it out there electronically so that while they're sitting on their butts late night, not able to sleep, we can get an audio comic to them, which would feature the balloons and the artwork and perhaps some really smooth narration.
There you go. Well, I think those are all wonderful ideas, and I'm going to let you think on them a while I bid my farewell.
Yeah, you're terrible.
I'm not terrible.
You are. You're. I need to find a new streaming co-host who isn't looking at the clock, only here for 10 minutes of the show, watching the clock.
I was here before you.
I can do my homework without looking at the camera for in 20 minutes.
Oh, you're so fresh. You are so fresh. You really are. You're so
My
fresh.
heart is for comics.
Yes, your heart is for comics. Do you have no more room for me?
Well, no, you're my
Your
editor.
Your wife is tired.
Yeah.
Your wife is exhausted. I have to be up early.
All right, I want you to get a street team together.
You know, people listening to this think you're really not very nice to me.
But anybody who watches the show knows that we're just having fun. All right. So, all right, I'll close the show.
Well, you don't have to. You can
Yeah,
sit
I
here
hate when you do
and
that
and
because
Shinobi and you
I
know.
know, but you can't do that. You're like a co-host to the show.
Yeah, but I don't say much.
Regis and whatever that girl's name was, Kelly and Regis. Yeah. When one left, she had to get another one, and I can't get another woman on this show.
No. Wouldn't
Yeah,
work.
you're my only woman. So, hey,
Well, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute. Go put a phone in front of Larissa's face that's tuned into the show. Hand it to her.
In bed, the poor girl.
Yeah, but that's okay. We'll just watch her snore.
Oh, that's exciting.
Not
So
really.
I'm gonna head out because I do have stuff to do. My husband.
Getting back on track, lady. That's fine.
I know.
I'm sorry,
really
guys. I
sorry.
was trying to break the record. We almost made it to 9:10, but
I know. Well,
do it now.
you can go and talk to them after.
No, I mean before you run.
Huh?
Actually, the record is 9:30.
Oh, it's 9:30.
It's not
Yeah.
9:30. It's 9:09.
Oh no, he's right. No, the record was closer to 9:30. He's probably
Yeah,
right.
it was. I was here one night, really. Well, if I didn't have this project staring at me, and I didn't know I got to be up at 6 tomorrow, and I still have to have some downtime. I work till 6 tonight. Shinobi, that's a good one. We need you here so no one can say women are not. Women are included, of course they are.
Yeah.
Like,
Which
that's
one?
hard.
Okay, well, I'm gonna close it, and then I'll get on Twitter. If anybody else is streaming, let me know.
No,
Maybe
you
I'll
don't
join
have to go on Twitter.
in.
I'm
Well,
gonna
that's where
ban
most of it
Twitter.
come from usually. That's where you find streams sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe
what
I'll go check out the Critical Role on Twitch. Shinobi was talking about it.
I know. You should go do that. You
But I
guys
can't
should
really.
go and have a you guys should go have a nice manly conversation now.
Oh,
And
listen to you.
yeah.
Shut. All right, guys. I'm gonna end it and then just go.
Guys, thank you so much for coming tonight. I'm sorry I'm like such a stick in the mud. One of these days I'll stay past 9:30, maybe.
You're lying.
No,
I
I'm
know.
not.
Unless we start at 9, then you'll be like, well, okay.
No, it's because I'm working on my thing. It's crazy, but I'm tired now.
Yeah, you were working on it all show.
No, I wasn't. I was listening and paying attention and giving my 2 cents.
All right. Well, we love you guys. We're out.
All right.